You are not slow because you lack effort. You are slow because something invisible is quietly stealing your speed every single step. And the more you push, the more it takes from you. What if the real problem was never your willpower at all? Why running more isn't making you faster? You wake up early, you lace up your shoes, you run in the heat, in the rain, when others quit, mile after mile, week after week. And yet when you look at your watch, something feels deeply wrong. You are still slow. Not just slow, but stuck. No matter how hard you push, no matter how disciplined you are, your pace refuses to change. And that silent question begins to grow louder in your mind. Is this really my limit? What if I told you the most dangerous lie in running is not that you are weak, but that you believe running more is the answer to everything? Because the truth is far more uncomfortable. Many runners train harder every year, yet unknowingly build a body that is inefficient, leaking energy with every step. Speed is not stolen from you on the road. It is lost inside your own system, quietly, invisibly. And until you fix that, effort alone will never save you. Runforce Mindset warmly welcomes you now. If you want to understand running at a deeper level and unlock performance you didn't know you had, subscribe to the channel to support us and receive more high-value knowledge in future videos. Before we go further, here's a question for you. Which do you believe is true? A. To run faster, you must run more and push harder. B. To run faster, you must fix what's silently holding you back. Comment A or B below. If effort alone were enough, every disciplined runner would eventually become fast. But that is clearly not what happens. Most runners don't plateau because they lack motivation or willpower. They plateau because they are training in a straight line, while progress happens in layers. Adding miles, pushing pace, repeating the same routines again and again feels productive, yet it often strengthens only one part of the system while ignoring the rest. Over time, the body adapts, and hidden limitations begin to surface. Extra weight quietly increases the cost of every step. A weak core allows energy to twist away instead of driving forward. Shallow breathing starves working muscles of oxygen. Poor recovery blunts adaptation before it ever has a chance to take hold. None of these problems feels dramatic in isolation. But together they create an invisible ceiling you cannot break through by running harder. Speed stalls not because you are incapable, but because the real constraints are structural, not mental. The moment you stop chasing effort and start identifying what is truly limiting you, progress becomes possible again. Strategy number 1, optimize body weight for speed efficiency. Once you recognize that something unseen is holding you back, the next step is to identify the first and most measurable limiter: how much energy your body spends simply moving itself forward. Every stride is a transaction, and body weight determines the price you pay for each step. Even small amounts of excess weight quietly increase effort, forcing your muscles and cardiovascular system to work harder just to maintain the same pace. Coaches have long observed that reducing unnecessary load can unlock speed gains without adding a single mile to training. This is not about chasing a number on a scale or stripping the body down at all costs. It is about efficiency. When weight is optimized through better food choices, consistent habits, and proper recovery, movement becomes lighter and more economical. Runners often describe this change not as running faster, but as running with less resistance. The pace improves as a consequence because the body is no longer fighting itself with every step forward. Strategy number 2, build a strong core to eliminate energy loss. As your movement becomes lighter and more efficient, another hidden factor begins to reveal itself: the way your body holds together while running. Speed is not only created by strong legs, it depends on how well the body stays stable while everything is moving. With every stride, your arms and legs swing in opposite directions, creating rotational forces that can quietly drain energy. Without a strong core to control that motion, power leaks away before it ever reaches the ground. A stable core acts like a solid frame, allowing force generated by the hips and legs to travel cleanly forward instead of twisting side to side. This is why runners with strong cores often look smooth and controlled, even at faster paces. They are not working harder, they are wasting less. As fatigue sets in, core strength becomes even more critical, preserving posture and efficiency when the body would otherwise collapse and slow you down. Strategy number 3, breathe for performance, not survival. When the body is stable and aligned, the next limitation often appears in a place most runners overlook: the breath itself. As pace increases, many runners unconsciously shift into shallow chest breathing, not because they choose to, but because stress takes over. This type of breathing delivers less oxygen, tightens the upper body, and accelerates fatigue long before the legs are truly tired. Efficient running requires breathing that is deep, calm, and controlled, driven by the diaphragm rather than panic. When air is drawn fully into the lungs, working muscles receive the oxygen they need to sustain effort without spiraling into exhaustion. Rhythm matters as much as depth, helping the body settle into a sustainable flow instead of fighting for air. Runners who master their breathing often discover a surprising truth. They did not gain speed by pushing harder, but by learning how to stay relaxed while moving fast. Strategy number 4, nutrition that supports speed and recovery. Once breathing becomes steady and controlled, speed is no longer limited by panic or oxygen, but by how well your body recovers from the work you ask it to do. Many runners underestimate this phase, believing that what they eat only affects their health, not their pace. In reality, nutrition quietly determines whether training makes you stronger or simply makes you tired. Without enough fluids, cells cannot function efficiently. Without sufficient micronutrients, muscles repair slowly and adaptation stalls. Poor food choices may not ruin a single run, but over weeks they dull sharpness, deepen fatigue, and keep speed just out of reach. Supporting speed means fueling the body in a way that allows it to absorb training rather than merely survive it. When hydration is consistent and meals provide real nourishment instead of empty calories, recovery improves, energy stabilizes, and progress finally has room to take hold. Speed grows not during effort, but during restoration. Strategy number 5, short, high-intensity bodyweight circuits. When the body is properly fueled and recovery is no longer a limiting factor, the next step is teaching your muscles how to produce force more efficiently. Running alone, especially at steady paces, builds endurance, but often leaves raw power underdeveloped. This is where short, high-intensity bodyweight training becomes essential. Simple movements like burpees and squat jumps train the body to coordinate strength, speed, and balance at the same time. They activate the glutes, hamstrings, and core in a way that closely mirrors the demands of faster running. Performed in brief, focused bursts, these exercises challenge the nervous system to fire quickly without accumulating excessive fatigue. Just a few minutes of concentrated effort can create adaptations that hours of easy running cannot. Over time, runners notice that their stride feels more responsive and explosive, not because they are stronger in a traditional sense, but because their body has learned how to apply force more effectively with every step. Strategy number 6, train the hips, your speed engine. As explosive strength begins to return to your stride, one final physical limiter often comes into focus: the hips, which quietly determine how much of that power actually propels you forward. The hips are the true engine of running speed, controlling how force is generated, directed, and sustained with each step. When hip strength is lacking, the legs may move faster, but the propulsion remains weak and inefficient. Strong, responsive hips allow the body to drive forward with authority while reducing stress on the knees and lower back. They stabilize the pelvis, lengthen effective stride, and help maintain form as fatigue builds. This is why runners with well-developed hips often appear effortless even at higher speeds. Their movement is not forced, it is supported from the center. Training the hips through focused, intentional movements teaches the body to push the ground away instead of simply stepping over it. When the hips engage properly, speed feels less like strain and more like momentum that carries you forward. Strategy number 7, speed training, without sprinting into injury. When the engine is strong and power is no longer missing, the final step is teaching the body how to use that capacity at higher speeds without breaking down. This is where many runners either hesitate or make costly mistakes. Speed training does not mean sprinting recklessly or pushing to the point of injury. True speed development lives in controlled intensity, where the nervous system learns to move faster while the body stays relaxed and balanced. Running at submaximal speeds, fast enough to feel challenging but not chaotic, allows coordination to improve without overwhelming the joints or muscles. These short accelerations, followed by full recovery, teach efficiency under speed rather than survival under stress. Over time, the body becomes familiar with faster movement, and what once felt uncomfortable begins to feel natural. Speed stops being something you force for brief moments and becomes a skill you can access calmly, confidently, and repeatedly when it matters most. How the 7 strategies work together. As speed becomes something your body can access without fear or strain, a larger truth begins to emerge about how all of these elements fit together. None of these strategies works in isolation, and none of them were ever meant to. Speed is not built by fixing a single weakness, but by gradually removing multiple small limits that compound over time. When body weight becomes efficient, movement costs less energy. When the core is stable, power travels forward instead of leaking away. When breathing is calm, effort becomes sustainable. When nutrition supports recovery, adaptation finally sticks. Strength, hip power, and controlled speed training are then layered on top of that foundation, amplifying what already works. This is why progress often feels sudden, even though it was built slowly. Nothing magical happened in one workout. The system simply became aligned affairs. When everything works together, speed stops feeling like something you chase and starts feeling like something that naturally appears. When speed begins to feel like a natural expression of your movement rather than a constant struggle, the journey itself takes on a new meaning. Running faster no longer requires endless mileage or relentless suffering, but a deeper understanding of how your body truly works. Progress comes from patience, awareness, and the willingness to train with intention instead of ego. You do not need to overhaul everything at once. One adjustment, made consistently, can change the direction of your training over time. The fastest runners are not always the ones who work the hardest, but the ones who listen carefully and respond intelligently. As you move forward, ask yourself, which limitation is holding you back right now, not which effort you can add. That answer is where real improvement begins. If this perspective has helped you see your running differently, stay connected with the channel and continue this process of learning and refinement. Speed is not something reserved for others. It is something you build, step by step, with clarity and purpose. In the end, running faster is not about forcing change, but about understanding cause and effect. Every improvement you make comes from removing friction rather than adding pressure. When you stop chasing effort and start refining the system, your habits, your movement, your recovery, progress becomes sustainable and meaningful. Speed, strength, and confidence emerge not from extremes, but from alignment. This approach transforms running from a constant struggle into a process of discovery, where patience replaces frustration and clarity replaces doubt. The journey stops being about proving something and starts being about becoming more capable, step by step, with intention and control. The deeper lesson is simple. Real growth comes from fixing what quietly holds you back, not from pushing harder at what already hurts. Apply this to life by identifying hidden limits in your routines, mindset, or health, and improving them steadily instead of seeking shortcuts. One quick question for you. Do you believe progress comes more from effort or from awareness? Please share your answer in the comments so everyone can learn from different perspectives. And if this content brought value to you, kindly subscribe to support the channel and motivate us to create more meaningful content in the future.